Hello, and thank you for taking this survey. Our goal is to collect information about how people understand conflict in stories. During this survey, you will be shown 3 short stories. Your job is to mark every conflict that you see. This brief video will show you how to use the conflict marking tool. Before the survey starts, you will have a chance to practice with the tutorial. Let's look at that tutorial step by step. The first thing you see is a transcript of the entire story. This one is about a powerful sorceress named Amanda, who encounters a dangerous troll.
Once upon a time, a powerful sorceress named Amanda was on a journey to a faraway castle. On her way to the castle, Amanda came to a deep river. The only way across the river was a large stone bridge, but Amanda could see that a monstrous troll was asleep under the bridge. This is her story. The troll woke up and saw Amanda. Amanda killed the troll with a magic spell. Amanda walked to the castle. The end.
After you have read the story, click the Start Finding Conflicts button. On this page, you will notice 3 boxes. The top left box shows you the story that you just read, but it only shows you one step of the story at a time. Right now, we see only the introduction. Use the Next and Previous buttons to move backwards and forwards through the story. Every time you press the Next button, you move forward in time and see one more step of the story. Every time you press the Previous button, you move backwards in time. The bottom left box shows you the characters in the story. Each one has a thought bubble that tells you what they are planning to do at this point in the story. The first character is called Fate, and he appears in every story. Fate represents destiny, accidents, and the forces of nature. He plans for the troll to wake up and notice Amanda. The second character is Amanda. At the beginning of the story, her plan is to sneak across the bridge without being seen by the sleeping troll. She also plans to stay alive by the end of the story. Lastly, we see the troll. He's asleep, so the only thing he plans to do is stay alive by the end of the story. The box to the right of the page is a list of conflicts. This is where you can mark the conflicts that you find in the story. This box is divided into 3 parts. The first one is a list of new conflicts that are starting right now. The second box is a list of conflicts that started earlier in the story. The third box is a list of conflicts that are ending now. Let's take a moment to consider what conflict means. For the purposes of this survey, a conflict occurs when a character forms a plan that might get thwarted later on. There are 3 types of conflict that you should consider. The first is character versus character. This happens when a character forms a plan that conflicts with another character's plan. The second type is character versus fate. This occurs when a character forms a plan which might get thwarted by accident or by the environment. In other words, a plan that is in conflict with fate. The third type of conflict is character versus self. This occurs when one character's plan might thwart itself. Now let's consider the beginning of the tutorial story. Amanda is planning to sneak across the bridge unnoticed, but fate intends for the troll to wake up. You might think that this is an instance of character versus fate. If you do, this is how you would mark that conflict. To add this conflict to your list, click on the Add New Conflict button. The text reminds us that a conflict occurs when a participant plans to do something which might get thwarted later, and it asks us, who is forming a plan? Choose Amanda from the list of characters. Now it asks us, who is attempting to thwart that plan? Choose Fate from the list of characters. You can choose the characters in any order. If you want, you could have chosen Fate first and Amanda second. As far as this survey is concerned, it's the same thing. Now the text asks us to click the action that Amanda plans to do which might get thwarted by fate. Move over to Amanda's thought bubble and click the action where she sneaks across the bridge. Lastly, the text asks us to click the action that Fate plans to do which will thwart Amanda's plan. Move over to Fate's thought bubble and click the action where the troll wakes up. Now a new conflict has been added to the list. If you change your mind and want to delete this conflict, simply click the Delete button. If you think the conflict both starts and ends now, click the button that says "This conflict also ends now." Click on the Next button to move one step forward in time. Now we see the introduction and the first step of the story, where the troll wakes up. Notice the conflict that we just created is now in the middle list of conflicts, which started earlier. Also notice that the plans of the characters have changed in response to the troll's waking up. Unfortunately for Amanda, the troll woke up and noticed her. You might think that Amanda's plan to sneak across the bridge has been successfully thwarted by fate. If so, find that conflict and click the button that says "End this conflict now." You'll notice that the conflict moves into the third list, the list of conflicts that are ending now. If you change your mind, you can click the "Continue this conflict" button to move it back up into the list of continuing conflicts. That conflict might have ended, but the story is not over. These steps, highlighted in yellow, show you the new things that the characters are planning to do in response to what just happened in the story. After waking up, the troll has decided to eat the sorceress. Likewise, Amanda has realized that she is going to have to fight her way across the bridge, so she plans to kill the troll with a magic spell. If you think this is a new conflict between the troll and Amanda, click the Add New Conflict button. Choose the troll as the first character, and Amanda as the second character. The troll wants to stay alive, so click that action in his thought bubble. But Amanda wants to kill the troll with a magic spell, so click that action in her thought bubble. Now let's move on to the next part of the story, where Amanda kills the troll with a magic spell. Again, we see that the conflict that started last time is now in the list of continuing conflicts. If you think Amanda has successfully thwarted the troll's plan to stay alive, click on the End This Conflict Now button to move the conflict into the list of ending conflicts. You will need to mark the two conflicts I just showed you exactly as I showed you in order to pass the tutorial and begin the survey. This is simply to make sure that everyone watches the video. You might see more conflicts than the two I described, and you might not agree with the two conflicts I marked. That's okay. There are no right or wrong answers in this survey after the tutorial. We want to know how you see conflict. On behalf of the Liquid Narrative Research Group, thank you for watching this video and for taking the time to do this survey. The information that you contribute will help to advance the science of digital storytelling.